Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back. I'm sitting in a parking lot waiting for my wife to be done shopping. So I figured I would get on here, talk to you guys about a pretty pressing issue, and then kind of tell you guys how I've been handling it. And it's the way I've been handling, the pandemic this entire time. So the big issue is Carhartt. Carhartt is a very large company. Carhartt dresses, probably half of Idaho, half of the West. Carhartt is a big part of the attire of the working man, and it's because Carhartt makes a product that's hard to destroy. A pair of Carhartt pants will last you much longer than a pair of jeans. Whatever, I'm not promoting their stuff. Here's the issue. Carhartt has recently decided to move ahead with mandatory, we'll call it vaccines, but they're experimental injections. They've decided that their employees still need to do this. And people have been calling Carhartt and speaking out, which is definitely the right thing to do. We'll tag them in this video so they know where I stand and where I am using my influence to direct you guys. Currently, right now, 50% of my attire is Carhartt. This is a Carhartt jacket. I'm wearing Carhartt pants. Just so happens that's what I put on today because that is kind of my go-to clothing as a guy who lives out in the woods and needs clothing that withstands the elements. So I happen to be wearing 50% Carhartt today by chance, not just to make this cool video. Guys, I am gonna boycott Carhartt. This is my decision on how to deal with this. This has been my decision on how to deal with a lot of these companies. There are multiple companies around town that I will not ever enter into their store ever again. Whether it was, most of it's been mask mandates. Now people, I feel, are free to medically do what they want to do, health-wise, do what is best for them. I don't go around chastising people for eating at McDonald's and not caring about their health and their weight anymore. You go and do it. It's unhealthy for you. You know the risks. You're an adult. But when these businesses decide to get in on this and try to pressure people, the only way that you can respond to change it is to stop making them money. You stop supporting their business. So there are multiple businesses throughout town that I've stopped supporting, and some big names, and some of those have been really a real pain in the butt to stick by. But you have to make a principled stance. You have to stick to your guns, and you got to do it. Does it make my life less cool by doing it? Yeah, it does. One of the businesses that I've decided to no longer support, we pulled our membership from and won't be buying it again, is Costco. Costco, buying bulk, all the cool stuff that they have. We like to go to Costco when we go in town. We're no longer going to be members of Costco, and I will no longer support Costco because of the forced mask mandates, because of their stance on it, because of how ridiculous they were about it, and the fact that they, as paying members, kicked us out. Told us we had to wear masks or we can't come in. I'm not cool with that. You don't appreciate my business, you won't be getting my business. So Costco is a big one. No longer supporting. Big Five in Coeur d'Alene. Big Five in Coeur d'Alene kicked me out of their store. I ran in there to grab something. I didn't have a mask on. They started hollering at me to get out. I won't be treated like that. That's your prerogative. It's your business. If that's the way that you choose to run it, then that's fine. Go for it. I am not going to support you with my money. This is the only proper response, guys. Another big sacrifice, Weimar in Rathdrum, Idaho. I used to love going into that store. They just recently opened up. We were finding ourselves going in there like every 2 to 3 days. It was crazy. We had just moved. We were back and forth into town all the time getting stuff. We always just go and buy Weimar, and I would go in there and buy stuff all the time. Walked in there one day, grabbed a bunch of stuff, and was actually heading to the checkout, and the lady kicked me out, told me to get out, and there wasn't even people in the store. There was hardly anyone in there. I will not support these businesses who push these agendas that are tearing our community apart. So Weimar in Rathdrum no longer gets my business, and it's only $5 to be a member there, but they'll no longer get my $5 to be a member. You have the right as a business to run it the way that you want to, and I respect that, and I might not like it, and my only recourse is to not support you with my money, which keeps you in business. And if the majority of the community feels the same way that I feel and stop giving them their money, they will go under. And then somebody will start a new business and they will fill that gap. And hopefully they'll understand, oh, hey, forcing these people to do stuff against their will is not a good, it's not a good business practice. We have to make mandatory vaccines and mandatory mask wearing, mandatory any oppression, control, any of that kind of stuff. If that's the practice that they're going to choose for their business, we have to make it unacceptable by not supporting them, because in the end they will cater to the dollar, because that's all they do. Business 101, making money, right? They don't care. If they can continue to do this stuff and still make money, they're going to continue to do it. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about you. They care about the money in your pocket. So take that money in your pocket and go somewhere else with it. Which brings us back to Carhartt. If Carhartt does not change, now a lot of people have been calling Carhartt, and hopefully that pressures them. Hopefully they realize, like, oh, hey, our clientele is against this. If Carhartt changes their policy and decides, okay, we're no longer going to do it, I will reward their change in mind, their change in heart. I will reward them by continuing to buy their product. This is kind of a big deal to me. I don't even know who's out there business-wise to be able to replace Carhartt-style clothing, rugged clothing. But it's out there, right? Probably gonna have to pay a little more, which is fine. I think Carhartt winds up coming in from China anyway. I don't know. You guys tell me below who is a good substitute for Carhartt. I'll go shop for their clothing, and as long as they're not going to, force their social agenda on their employees, which affects their customers, I will support them. And hopefully there's enough people out there that, I get to keep my clothing on. Why not be the guy who steps in and crushes Carhartt? And I will be there to support that company, and I'm okay with that. Carhartt does not support my free choice by controlling the free choice of my neighbors. I don't know anyone who works for Carhartt, but they are, in fact, our neighbors in this country. They are our neighbors, our brothers, our family, and we need to start supporting those people with our money. So hopefully Carhartt changes course, or hopefully Carhartt crashes and burns and their company goes under and a new pro-America, pro-freedom company emerges. But I wanted to tell you guys my stance on it. I hope that you guys will support me in my efforts by joining that fight. It's easy to do, guys. It's discipline. You just take a stance on a value that you have. If you don't value that enough, if you don't care, you're supporting these businesses thinking that it's acceptable to violate your health information. It's not their place to know your medical history. They don't get to know that. So they're starting this precedent in this country where all of a sudden your medical history is basically public knowledge. It's not. So you fight it by resisting it. So guys, get in the fight. Resist these companies with me. Resist companies in your town. Influence people to resist the people in your town. Make it apparent in your towns where you live which companies push tyranny and which companies push liberty. That's all it comes down to. Liberty or tyranny. Anyone who makes the argument that, well, these companies can do whatever they want, you're absolutely right. They can. It's their business. They should be able to refuse service to whoever they want. Go for it. Private business. You're all about it. You also have the right to fail, and I'm going to do my part to make sure that you do, whether that part is significant or not. I can tell you this company around here locally, they had mask mandates. They had mask signs up all over their company, all over their store as well. Never once kicked me out. never once said anything to me when I walked in. And we know that a lot of people had to comply with putting up all of the, the hoopla, or they felt that they did put up all the signage saying you gotta, 6 feet apart and wear your masks and whatever. But they never enforced it. And I'm okay with that. So no one harassed me or kicked me out or told me that my money's not good enough in their store. I'll continue to support those businesses. Guys, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share videos like this far and wide. We need to motivate people. We need to influence people to start taking a stance anywhere that they can. I've always done this kind of stuff. I've been boycotting stores for over a year now, and I'm pretty hardcore about it because I will never go into those stores ever again. Ever. Even if you reverse your policy when it's safe to reverse your policy, I'm not rewarding that. You will never see me in Big 5 Coeur d'Alene ever again. You will never see me in Rathdrum Bimart ever again.